Have we got a jam-packed night in store for you? Eli Ralston is back with another episode of the week, Aidan Hall will crown a few new TV icons, and Aaron Beal is here with a review of the highly anticipated Skyfall.
Did the return of James Bond live up to its hype? You'll have to stick around because the real deal starts now.
Hello, and welcome to The Real Deal, Ball State's #1 entertainment and news and movie review show. I'm Andrew Bennett.
And I'm Kayli Russell. Still intrigued at the prospect of a Boy Meets World spinoff? Nick Ewing is here with news of that development and more with this week's Hollywood headlines. Nick?
Disney has sent out the first casting breakdown for their highly anticipated Boy Meets World sequel series, Girl Meets World. The breakdown gives descriptions of two of Girl's main characters, Riley Matthews, 13-year-old daughter of Corey and Topanga, and Maya, her BFF. Supposedly, Maya is going to be a dark and edgy character, whatever that means for a Disney sitcom. Also, it looks like Corey is following in the footsteps of good old Mr. Feeney and is now working as a history teacher at Maya's middle school. Not much is known about Sean, Angela, and Mr. Feeney himself, but it would be interesting to have more of the original cast return. It looks like Lucasfilm is going ahead and pushing into pre-production, having committed to a screenwriter for Star Wars Episode 7. Michael Arndt, Academy Award-winning screenwriter of Little Miss Sunshine and co-writer of Toy Story 3, has been confirmed to be the next screenwriter for the beloved Star Wars series. Apparently, he has been described as a Star Wars expert, and he showed with Little Miss Sunshine that he has a gift for creating eccentric yet endearing characters. As for sci-fi experience, he contributed to the upcoming Adventures Oblivion and the Hunger Games sequel, so he seems well suited there. If he'll do a better job than George himself is yet to be seen. The Twilight Saga ends with the release of Breaking Dawn Part 2 this Friday, but that doesn't mean Summit Entertainment is getting out of the paranormal teen romance genre just yet. Their new film is called Warm Bodies, and it's based on a young adult novel about a zombie guy who falls for a warm-blooded normal human girl. Based on the new trailer, it seems a lot closer to Zombieland than Twilight. The film is intended to be a comedy, but I think it may have a hard time being funnier than Twilight. I'll just let you guys be the judge on that. And that's it for Hollywood Headlines. I'm Nick Ewing.
Thanks, Nick. It's fairly common knowledge that actors never rest. Once they finish one film, they move on to the next. Let's hear what projects some of our favorite actors have recently put their sights on. Here with Casting Call is Romelle Taday. What have you got for us, Romelle?
James McAvoy, with his streamlined combo of looks and smarts, is in talks to star as activist and author Daniel Domscheit-Berg, alongside Benedict Cumberbatch, WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange, in a movie about the controversial whistleblowing website. With Dreamgirls' Bill Condon directing and a screenplay adaptation by Josh Singer, the as-yet untitled film is based on Domscheit-Berg's book, Inside WikiLeaks, My Time with Julian Assange at the World's Most Dangerous Website, as well as another tome, WikiLeaks, Inside Julian Assange's War on Secrecy, by reporters David Lee and Luke Harding. Alan Arkin, dryly saucy in Argo, hitting the town with fellow veteran guys Al Pacino and Christopher Walken in next year's debauchery film Stand Up Guys, is in negotiations to join two other graying bigwigs, Robert De Niro and Sylvester Stallone, plus Kim Basinger, in the boxing film Grudge Match, about two retired fighters, De Niro and Stallone, who go head-to-head again in the ring. Peter Segal of Get Smart is directing from a screenplay by Tim Kellner and rewrites by Entourage creator Doug Ellen. Tim Robbins will star in and direct the dramedy Man Under, with Michelle Pfeiffer and Chloe Moretz on board to play members of a family who deal with the repercussions of a photograph of them getting displayed at the Museum of Modern Art in New York City. Though he recently directed a couple of episodes of HBO's Trem, this will be Robbins' first time helming a feature film since 1999's Cradle Will Rock, and Cherkins penned the script. And SNL buddies Kristen Wiig and Bill Hader are set to headline the comedy The Skeleton Twins, about two twin siblings who reevaluate their lives and their relationship with each other after they both have a near-death experience on the same day. Luke Wilson co-stars as Wiig's doofus husband. Director Craig Johnson penned the script with Mark Heyman. And that's a wrap. I'm Romelle Taday, and this has been Casting Call.
Thanks, Romelle. I'm totally up for seeing the Skeleton Twins, just as long as Bill Hader's alter ego, Stefan, makes an appearance.
Something tells me that's not going to happen. Something also tells me that it's time for our first break. When we return, Aidan Hall will deliver a very noteworthy top 5, but first, check out this weekend's box office report. Stick around.
And I will kill them too.
Brace for impact. No one could have landed that plane like I did.
I will never be good.
No.
And that's not bad.
Hold that thought.
There's no one I'd rather be than me.
Welcome back. We're all familiar with the most iconic TV characters, from the Fonz and Barney Fife to Carrie Bradshaw and Homer Simpson. However, there is always room for more. Here with the top 5 most notable TV characters of the moment is Aidan Hall. Take it away, Aidan.
Thanks, guys. Turkey Day is right around the corner, and as we all brace for the Christmas special season and reruns of old Harry Potter movies, because Harry Potter, it's a Christmas series, I thought it would be appropriate to look back at the top 5 most iconic characters we've seen this year. This year has proven to be a unique one, to say the least, and so let's take a look back and start this show. Number 5, Honey Boo Boo from Here Comes Honey Boo Boo. Love her or hate her, this little butterball has snuck her way into our hearts. Earlier this year, TLC produced a spin-off of the widely popular Toddlers and Tiaras and created Here Comes Honey Boo Boo. This investigative series into the lifestyle of the great Redneckius Familius is one of the most popular shows on television, averaging around 2 million viewers. Whether you love to bash the family or hate it with a truly scholarly passion for being on television, Honey Boo Boo has certainly left her mark. Number 4, Matt Smith from Doctor Who. This year marked the 3rd excursion of the 11th Doctor for all the Whovians out there. Yes, the BBC program that has been running on and off for almost 50 years has slowly moved itself out of cult standing and is now becoming a huge American hit. While this new season showed the departure of Rory and Amy, it introduced us not only to the new companion of the Doctor, but also to the Doctor's dark side. We see a new character, a character that is willing to do whatever it takes to find justice. This new season promises to be excellent, and while I may know my way around a police box, anyone just starting their Time Lord journey will have a good time. The Doctor has always been a bit quirky, but Matt Smith takes it to a whole new level. But hey, thanks to him, bow ties are pretty cool. Number 3, Barney Stinson from How I Met Your Mother. Almost 10 years ago, the great Barney introduced us to the Bro Code and the Man Commandments, and these rules still ring true today. Yes, How I Met Your Mother, which started back in 2003, is still going strong, and this is shown in Neil Patrick Harris's win of the People's Choice Award for Best Male Comedy Actor earlier this year. While How I Met Your Mother has had its great episodes and its poor episodes, Barney has always brought us right back with his dude etiquette and smooth charm. Barney has become an idol for all frat boys and cool kids out there, and with good reason. While this character's been done before with the Fonz or even Quagmire from Family Guy, the great MPH has brought new life to the cool guy, and I look forward to this final season of the Stinson. Number 2, Walter White from Breaking Bad. This year marked the first half of the final season of Breaking Bad. Walter the teacher turned meth maker has been in our hearts and some of our speed dial since 2008, and we have seen his rise and slow fall as the drug kingpin. To me, it's hysterical to see just how crazy Hal from Malcolm in the Middle can be. However, the acting on the show is excellent, and Walter's one of the most iconic characters recently because he gives a new light to the drug maker. While other series have dabbled in it with Weeds or Oz, Breaking Bad shows that he did what he needed to do, and he uses his specialties to do it. I, for one, am looking forward to seeing how the final season concludes, and I hope you'll join me in 2013 on AMC. Number 1, Ron Swanson from Parks and Recreation. With the loss of the iconic Barney, a new man must rise to take the helm of Top Dude, and Ron Swanson is that man. This burly man's man from Amy Poehler's hit show Parks and Rec symbolizes all that American men should be. His straight face when delivering some of the best lines of the show have become an internet meme all on its own. This avid hunter and all-around well-chiseled man speaks leagues of this fine country, and I'm proud to say that he represents the fine city of Pawnee, Indiana. And with the 5th season currently airing, I welcome you all with a plate of bacon and eggs to join me in watching Ron's greatness bloom. And that wraps it up for the top 5 most iconic TV characters of 2012. So all you fans out there, hop in your meth-filled TARDISes with a plate of bacon and eggs and have a great year. I'm Aidan Hall, and this has been the Top 5.
Thanks, Aidan. It's almost time for our next break, but first, here's our recommendation of the week. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang stars a pre-Iron Man Robert Downey Jr. as Harry Lockhart, a petty thief who, while on the run from the police, gets mistaken for an actor. He keeps up the charade by auditioning for a detective movie. A private eye named Gay Perry, played by a post-Batman Val Kilmer, is brought in to school Lockhart on his role.
The twists and turns soon follow in this clever crime comedy as the two men eventually find themselves investigating a real-life murder. The action is impressive, the acting is top-notch, and the laughs abound. Be sure to check out Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Let's go. Hurry up. It's not my fault. Just shut up and run.
Hold it right there!
Harry was a small-time crook.
Oh, boy.
Till he opened the door
Oh, no, we're not ready for your audition.
Just take him. He's ready. You ready, right?
to a really big break.
Quit acting like the good guy. You got your partner killed. You killed him.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Old school method. Get me Gay Perry on the phone.
But he'll need a real cop
Detective lessons tomorrow for your acting.
Oh, you're the consultant.
if he wants to act the part.
You must be
Gay Perry?
still gay?
Me? No. I just like the name so much, I can't get rid of it.
So what do you do?
I'm a private detective. She thinks I'm a detective.
Of all the idiot things to do.
My sister.
Honey,
Are you gonna help me?
I gotta check my schedule.
Can you help me, Harry? Because if you're not gonna help me, find somebody else.
So sometimes I have other. My caseload is pretty.
Thank you.
From Shane Black, the creator of Lethal Weapon,
Do not play detective.
Moron. Go home before the bad guys do something bad to you.
2 corpses in 3 hours. I mean, that's unusual, right?
Yes.
comes a mystery.
It's a frame-up. First things first. Do you have the corpse?
I got rid of it.
You threw it away.
Look up idiot in the dictionary. You know what you'll find? A picture of me? No. The definition of the word idiot.
That starts with a kiss.
Why'd you lie to me?
It was an excuse to stay around you, so I mean, I think.
Ow! Did I just cut off your finger?
Yeah. It's on the floor. Pick it up. Pick it up.
And ends with a bang.
Where is the girl? You put a live round in that gun. Oh, yeah. There was like an 8% chance. Who taught you math?
Robert Downey Jr.,
What do you think, I'm stupid?
Val Kilmer,
Yes. I think you're stupid.
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Oh, hell. Kiss me. What? Kiss me.
No. These lessons suck.
Welcome back. Tired of unnecessary sequels and remakes? You wouldn't be the first. In fact, our own Chauncey Baker is here to give sequels a piece of his mind. Let it off your chest, Chauncey.
I really hate sequels. Don't get me wrong. There have been some fine moments that have had 2 in their titles. The Godfather, Rambo, Mission Impossible, and even the Friday the 13th franchises have all had decent sequels throughout the years. My point being is that there are way too many sequels to established franchises and remakes and not enough original ideas. I get the fact that the economy isn't exactly doing the greatest right now, but the film industry needs to take some risks. I'm getting sick of all of the Fast and the Furious sequels. However, I will note that the only 2 films worth watching in that series are the original one and the 5th one, Fast 5. Other than that, the series sticks to the same formula. Lots and lots of car chases and lots of cleavage. Sounds nice, right? Well, as much as I'd like those 2 things, I do like a little plot in my movies. Switching genres, why does the horror film industry feel the need to constantly reboot, remake, or make an unnecessary sequel? Take the Saw films, for example. There are 7 of them. Twisted Pictures could have ended the story on the 3rd film just fine. Another example of the genius of certain film studios, New Line, with the Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street remakes. Both films were received with negative receptions from critics and fans alike. The first problem with the Friday the 13th remake is that Jason runs. You don't do that! With the Nightmare remake, they cast Watchmen's Jackie Earle Haley as Freddy Krueger. He was a perfectly good choice to replace Robert Englund, but the fact remains that Freddy is Robert's character, no one else's. The Nightmare remake did well at the box office, but this is a fine example of what film studios are ultimately about: moolah. Not that making money is a bad thing, but studios seem to sacrifice artistic quality for quantity and money. What will they remake next? The Godfather? Regardless, I'm Chauncey Baker, and this has been The Rant. I also plan to remake Titanic.
Thanks, Chauncey. Eli Ralston is back with a new edition of Eli's Episode of the Week. What do you say, Kayli? 5-1, he picks The Walking Dead.
I'm not so sure. I think he'll surprise us. So what's your pick, Eli?
Hey guys, Eli here with my choice for Episode of the Week. And this week I've decided to go with one of my favorite shows on TV right now, The Walking Dead, titled The Killer Within. Now, if you have not seen this episode yet, spoiler alert, I'm going to be giving away basically the entire episode. So if you have not seen it yet, pause this, go watch it, then come back and watch this segment. I'll give you a second. So did you love it? Because I did. The Killer Within was not only the best episode of this season, but it could easily be one of the best episodes of the series. The episode started off in a way that kind of had me worried that it would be like a fluff episode from Season 2, like Secrets. You had one-legged Herschel walking about, pregnant Lori looking like she was about to burst, and everyone looking all hunky-dory like it was some after-school special. It was a point where they were all sitting there looking all happy where I knew something was about to go down. And lo and behold, zombies. So everyone decided to run into the prison to try and get away from them. And as they got in, they thought they were safe, but more horrors awaited them. With lights flickering on and off, the sirens blaring, and there was more than one well-timed jump scare moment. This is when the show had some of its more classic horror movie moments, which was very nice to see. There were a few scenes that happened at Woodbury, and it was all still good stuff, but it was all kind of overlooked by the awesomeness that happened at the prison. So let me give you a brief synopsis of what happened. Michonne's being grumpy, Merle's a perv, Andrea's still being a slut, and the governor's probably feeding his floating head collection. Before I go into the major deaths of the episode, here's a short in memoriam video for our fallen heroes.
In the arms of the angel, fly away from here, from this star.
Yes, T-Dog and Lori are both gone. The death of T-Dog seemed to be a tragic joke, because for the past 2 seasons I've been bitching about the fact that he does not get enough character role. But the first episode that they actually do this, they have him bitten 15 minutes later. Then they kill him 5 minutes later. Not funny, Walking Dead producers. Not funny. At least T-Dog went out like a boss and went out fighting like he should have. And of course, Lori would go into labor at the worst possible time. Now, after the complications started to arise, we finally saw Lori go. And this was a bittersweet moment for me. Because even though I, like most other fans of the show, hated her guts because of how unsure she was all the time, it was still pretty sad to see her go. But the producers handled this scene exceptionally well. Especially with the mother-son goodbye that went on between her and Carl, which was much needed to give her and Carl some closure. But I would have wished to see her get some closure with Rick instead of that little across-the-yard stare that they had. When it came to Rick's reaction, I'm guessing some may mock such a raw display of emotion, but I found it very effective. And Rick laying on the ground weeping amongst a horde of dead zombies was a suitably powerful and a great visual that sums up what The Walking Dead really is. So much sadness, so much loss, and so many zombies. There you have it. There's my choice for the episode of the week. I'm Eli, reminding you to fight the dead, but fear the living.
Well, I'm glad I didn't bet money on that.
It's like a 6 cents, really. Anyways, time for one last break, and when we return, Aaron Beal will give us a review of one of the most anticipated Bond films of all time. Stick around.
We'll join you. Pax will fight. We've never been afraid of vampires.
I'll never let anybody hurt you.
Welcome back. Are you one of the few people who didn't see Skyfall last weekend? Still debating on whether it's worth your money or not? Aaron Beal is here with a review that can help you make up your mind once and for all. Aaron?
Some kids grow up idolizing real-life heroes like police officers and firefighters. I had two heroes growing up, Batman and James Bond. I had the pleasure of seeing Skyfall over the weekend, and I'll just join the bandwagon in saying this is one of the best in the series. In Skyfall, Bond's loyalty to M is tested as her past comes back to haunt her. As MI6 comes under attack, 007 must track down the threat and destroy it, no matter how personal the cost. The film is gripping from the very beginning, after a nail-biting chase scene involving some expert motorcycle maneuvering and a fistfight on top of a moving train. Daniel Craig's performance as Bond has really found his stride in this outing, finding the right balance between intensity seen in the previous films and the sense of fun and charm that was especially lacking in the previous entry, Quantum of Solace. This film marks the series' 50th anniversary, a fact the film is quite aware of. Skyfall is full of Easter eggs and references to earlier films which Bond fans will just eat up. I won't give any of them away, but rest assured the invisible car from Die Another Day does not return, and Bond doesn't get into any laser gun shootouts in space as he did in Moonraker. A very welcome return is the character of Q, Bond's supplier of neat gadgets, played by up-and-comer Ben Whishaw, who does a fine job in the role. Other notable supporting characters include the delightful Naomi Harris as a fellow MI6 agent and Dame Judi Dench, who it could be argued is the Bond girl of the movie. Just wait till that steamy love scene, you'll know what I mean. The greatest performance of the movie is Javier Bardem as the scenery-chewing villain Raul Silva. Bardem's performance is a warm return to the eccentric, outlandish villains that have been largely absent in the more recent Bond movies. It's a nice touch that his bizarre, maniacal behavior is not motivated by a desire for world domination, but rather a very personal mission of revenge. I believe this film will put a major spark back into the franchise. Sam Mendes is the first big-name director to do a Bond movie, and it shows with some surprisingly beautiful shots and imagery. I'd like to see this trend continued with other noteworthy filmmakers. Chris Nolan, for instance, has made it very clear what a big Bond fan he is, and I think he'd do a fantastic job if he was given the chance. In summary, I love Skyfall, and I'm very much looking forward to the direction this series is headed, as hinted in the last scene of the film. But of course, you're just going to have to see it for yourself.
Thanks, Aidan. I think the entire world would have to agree with you. After all, Skyfall has made over $500 million worldwide in a matter of a few weeks. I definitely think the spark is back in this franchise. Almost time to go, but before we do, it's time for our final word. Kayli, after you.
Well, do you know who makes the best, although unexpected pair in Hollywood? Jennifer Lawrence and Bradley Cooper. And when I first heard that these two worked on 2 films together, where in both movies they played each other's love interest, I first thought, how strange. I mean, they're 15 years apart. But then I saw the trailer for Silver Linings Playbook, and I was sold. From the trailer alone, these two have great chemistry. Cooper plays Pat Solitano, a former teacher who spent 8 months in a state institution. He tries to rebuild his life and reconnect with his estranged wife. Meanwhile, he meets Tiffany, played by Jennifer Lawrence, who is a mysterious girl with problems of her own. She helps him reunite with his wife, if only he could help her out with something. Throughout the movie, an unexpected bond forms between them, and silver linings appear in both of their lives. The movie, which comes out on November 21st, has already won 4 awards at various film festivals and is getting crazy Oscar buzz. The movie also stars big names like Robert De Niro, Jackie Weaver, Chris Tucker, and Julia Stiles. Silver Linings Playbook has a great ensemble cast, and I can't wait to watch it.
An Oscar buzz movie that I'm very excited about is Ang Lee's Life of Pi, which is an adaptation of Yann Martel's novel. The movie stars Indian actor Suraj Sharma, who plays a boy who survives a disaster at sea, and while cast away, he forms an unexpected connection with another survivor, a fearsome Bengal tiger. Oscar-winning director Ang Lee says he worked extra hard to give Life of Pi an art house film appeal for general audiences. However, I just thought I'd add that the film cost over $100 million to make. I'll also add that I don't think too many art house films are filmed in 3D. Lee states that as a new technology, 3D gives the film additional appeal. Many modern moviegoers would have to disagree with that statement, as 3D is almost becoming too much to bear in Hollywood these days. but there have been times when 3D has been used to great effect. While these are few and far between, I do believe Avatar and Prometheus are good examples of how to do 3D right. Thankfully, from what I hear, Ang Lee has also taken great care to use 3D intelligently. If you haven't seen the trailer for this film, do yourself a favor and check it out. It was one of the most bizarre yet beautiful trailers I had ever seen, which is what really spurred my interest for the film considering I hadn't read the novel. Life of Pi, just like the Silver Linings Playbook, is scheduled to premiere in the United States on November 21st, so be sure to check it out.
And that wraps up our show for this week. Be sure to check out our Twitter and Facebook pages for updates on all things entertainment. Until next time, I'm Kayli Russell.
And I'm Andrew Bennett. We'll see you in 2 weeks, and have a happy Thanksgiving.